Will the COVID wave see Australians cast their vote via phone? The fever for Australia's 2022 federal election is finally setting in. A date for the ballot has not been called yet, but mid-May 2022 is when the polls are likely to occur. Australia is one of the few democracies where the head of government gets to select the date of the election, and all eyes are on Scott Morrison's decision. Please subscribe to the channel, keep watching to find out more. Sage here for Calcine Media. A myriad of factors will impact this year's federal election. Climate change, COVID-19, relations with China, industrial dealings, digital transformation, to name a few. And currently, political incumbents are under pressure as Australia deals with surging inflation and commodity prices amidst the pandemic's lingering economic and health costs. Australian federal election 2022 is also going to be held during the pandemic, but the pandemic is no longer the front of the mind for many people, and multiple states and territories have held elections during the past 2 years. So, what's the worry? Well, the upcoming May election is unique, as it will likely be held during a period of relative high spread of the COVID variant. Weeks ago, Australia was believed to be largely past the Omicron peak and cases were dwindling in February. But the unprecedented nature of this pandemic has taken a different course. Once again, elections approach as the Omicron BA.2 subvariant spread has begun to worry Australia. And while Western Australia recorded more than 8,000 new cases overnight on the 22nd of March 2022, South Australia reported over 4,500 new cases, the third highest daily total of the pandemic. Now, let's see how COVID-19 will affect the election. COVID-19 will affect the election logistically regarding how voting will be organised. The Australian Electoral Commission, which administers the election, will have to give Australians as many safe opportunities as possible to cast their vote. It is frequently consulting with health authorities to reduce risk from COVID during the elections. Practices like mask wearing, regular sanitisations and social distancing will be a definite norm. The period could also see a surge in early voting at specialised early voting centres so that citizens can avoid potentially cough-ridden crowds on the official election day. The Australian Election Commission might provide mail-in voting and mobile voting options for Australians who live in aged care facilities or are in hospitals. Another way COVID will affect the election is that voters will likely factor in the current government's handling of it when considering who to vote for. So, will the COVID wave see Australians cast their votes by phone? Thanks to the fast-spreading Omicron BA.2 subvariant and increased social interaction, some health officials are warning of another surge in winter cases, and the preview of this has already begun. Consequently, the ongoing surge of cases could see thousands of people having to cast their vote over the phone, while Australia's move to an online census will show how far the country has come in terms of technology. There are chances of the move being plagued by issues including site crashes and lost results. However, with a few weeks still in hand, resilient election systems and a trusted process, privacy and other security concerns can be well considered. COVID-19 might pose challenges for voters and for electoral authorities, but where there are challenges, there are opportunities. And digitisation is likely to be one such opportunity as citizens get the option to vote for their favourite candidate with merely a couple of punches on their phones. Thanks for joining us in the report. Now, if you like this information, let us know by liking, sharing, commenting on the video below and subscribe to the channel. Press the bell icon, you'll be notified of the most recent videos by Calcine. For articles like this, head to the website, it's calcinemedia.com. My name's Sage for Calcine Media.